Might not be just an easy walkover by any means.
Also, as a reminder, because you already mentioned for themselves as well, whoever in what most likely, with how it's looking now, will be Group Baron, whoever is 5th in that group is just out. No planes that get to be played, no chance to redeem yourself in the LCK Cup. That'll just be the end of your LCK Cup, and you won't play until the LCK starts proper after the first stand tournament. So even though the groups are cooperative, there's still a big incentive to play well for yourself and your own fate in the tournament. There's a scar in our band. This time we do pass the test. That's very nice. And the more that I think about it, if you're playing like a fearless best of 5, maybe you do at some point just leave that open to open up a ban slot. That can be a legitimate strategy. Best of 3 though, I just don't think we do it. I think we just keep it in the locked box where it belongs. Don't let it out.
Yep. Don't let the poor Scorpion out of the box.
I have no mercy for the Scorpion. I've seen the things that the champion does.
What about Seraphine and the whole lore arc? You don't care?
Well,
No
that's
sympathy?
not a thing anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. With his new lore, I don't think that's a thing anymore. Which is nice, because I like Seraphine the champion, and obviously the...
Wait, the lore changed?
I know.
I'm surprised.
Every now and then.
Yeah, occasionally. Vi is left up and will be first picked for Pyosik. Jace immediately locked in here for probably Rich, but could technically flex both of those mid-top. So Aurora actually seeing some prio here in this series.
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, made it through most of the last game without really getting touched. Champion is insanely strong. So far, it does really feel like we are doing just some pretty solid tier list drafting. Nothing too surprising so far. The Dusante has been taken away, so not going to have that as an answer into the Jace, which we still work out very well in our first series. So it's what? Ambessa. Next up the priority list. You know what I want, Veldas? I want Malphite. Oh!
What?
What? Whoa! Yeah!
Is that you on stage?
Okay, well, I still don't believe in Costa. It's going to be Ambessa, but I do hope at some point we get that Malphite. I do think it's a little early to lock it in, given that you don't really know what the rest of... If there was a stationary AD carry there, like, if you leave open the Varus and they go like Varus Jace and then you slam, that's just... The game becomes very hard to play out. And Ambessa, I think, is just such an insane champion at the moment. And Malphite has one dash on his ultimate. Ambessa has dashes on everything.
Yeah.
Which we do know as the Sponge Pantheon is going to come out here. Most likely.
Or Ondil.
I don't think it's Ondil. I think it's just Sponge.
I was getting my hopes up. The Ondil Pantheon. We saw Beryl, such an inspiring performance in Game 2.
Can't make it work. Maybe we just let it go. That's okay.
I watched that game and I said, I want to go home and try this. It just looked so good after they lost.
Okay, look at me. Look me straight in the eye and say that again, Valdez. I don't buy it. He's not doing it.
Well, I'm glad they banned Xayah. That's a very powerful champion. It at least keeps us from malding about it too much.
No, so far I think this is actually a fair Xayah spot. Like, I think the Xayah here, we've talked about this a lot, right? Into only Vi as guaranteed lockdown. I think the Ambessa makes it a bit trickier. Like, if it was Wukong, I'd be like, no, just leave it open. As the Ashe also taken away. So for both teams, we could theoretically go for Ziggs. Depending on the build that Rich goes, that's not going to be too much of a problem here. But it's going to just be the MF. I do kind of love...
Pantheon MF?
Well, this is a Berserker had an incredible performance on this pick. See what is going to be locked in here. I think the Kai'Sa Vi, that's a classic. Seen this combination a lot. The Taliyah can feel a little wonky. I would love a Leona lock in here. They might go for Nautilus because that's the combo we see most often between the two. But Braum is, I'm looking, still available. Could make it really hard for you to play out. Could also theoretically go Braum yourself, but that does kind of makes the whole draft feel a little wonky. Only leaves you with the engage of Leona or Nautilus, I think, are most likely. Rel also fits the bill as a Solid engage. But Alistair, most likely here for on deal. Given that is...
What do you mean? He's playing Pantheon.
He's playing Pantheon. watch Spawns just lock in like something insane.
Yeah, he's not playing Pantheon.
As he shouldn't.
Leona is pretty interesting. Yeah, as you mentioned, the Alistair always felt like the way.
Yeah, I like... so it's both the matchup into Rel, plus the fact that the value of Mercs when you just run both Leona and Pantheon goes up. I think with Alistair you have a little bit more leeway with the knock-up. It's not the end of the world. I don't think those boots are going to be feeling too insane outside of that. You have a good mixed damage profile. Lazy feel on the MF. The MF has been fine so far. I think we've not really had a lot of performances that made us really excited about it. Looking at these two compositions, really could go either way. I think this is going to be very execution-based. The Talia is the one thing that I'm a little bit worried about to see how it'll actually play out. We'll see. Bulldog has generally excelled at playing these type of mages, so can't wait to see, as there is pretty sure just based off of that
Bull
time,
Mom.
Bull Mom is also in the building.
Yep.
DN Freaks will be looking to get a second win here, which put them 2 wins away from both.
SpongeBob.
Yeah, I'd love the it's actually the fact that it is also the P in Korean. Actually, it's really well done. It's very cute. Really good fan sign there. Thanks for pointing it out, Velda.
Yeah. You were saying something, but I saw SpongeBob.
No, you have to call it out. It's fine.
I really wanted to talk about SpongeBob, so sorry about that. You see the comps here. Definitely a lot of damage on both sides. I don't think either side is really lacking all that much damage, so it could be a fiery and fun one.
It should be a fist fight, Valdez.
It should be. We'll see if it ends up being that as we hop on there for Game 1. Here we go, game number 1, and already the DN Freaks looking to get on in there. Now there is a ward in this bush. I do wonder if they might get caught out by this. Could have technically, you know, if all 3 of them swung around and caught life there. Could have made it pretty interesting, but not going to find him. Nothing crazy going to happen.
I hope one day we get live his Jarvan support again. It's so fun. I don't think it's even remotely good anymore because of the amount of sustain that's in lanes now. If you don't know this, Life was, as far as I'm aware, inventor of going airy on Jarvan, and then you just go flag max, and then you just dunk the flag on their head.
Yes.
And then airy, you know,
just
them
press
down.
your E button.
That was it.
On champion.
Yeah, and
win lane.
You know, you're a support champion, so you give a lot of, because you give a ton of attack speed, ambient, and then you also have the airy shield, I guess. I don't know.
And
I just
you're forgetting the most important part. No.
Flag and drag.
The perfect timing rune.
That did
where
help.
You had the free stopwatch.
Oh.
Remember?
This is actually...
when that was a thing, and that was
great.
just, we just accepted that for years?
Valdez, I want to talk to you about this. I'm sure that we will have a lot of action in this game, but maybe not quite right now as we see this matched lane swap. Do you still have pent-up emotions regarding perfect timing? Is that still...
So
I know that you are one of the biggest haters of that rune for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, the thing about it is it was just too strong. And,
it was.
And then people were also not selecting it. And I'm like, why not? It's free, and it's a stopwatch. And eventually people did. And
in
then
every game, everyone had one, yeah.
And then people would buy it because they realized, okay, well, I didn't take the rune, so I'm just going to buy it instead because it's so cheap. And even they raised the amount that it costs.
What was it?
And then they still bought it. And then they made it arm guard, and then people still bought it. At least it's calmed down a little bit since then. But
yeah, I actually, as we saw there, actually really good job by the DRX bot lane to keep Berserker away from any form of experience. So he actually hit level 2 later, didn't allow them to really contest. No, I actually went, if you go back and watch some old teamfight VODs, it's, you know, it's Fort Knox. Everyone's
obscene.
Just golden all the time. It's crazy.
it was terrible.
I wanted to do
man.
the Donald Duck reference, but I don't know, like, I don't know his name. Is it the guy that
Donald.
has the giant... No. I know Donald Duck. No, the guy that has the giant amount of gold.
G-Sun asked if it was Daisy.
No, with the gold, that swims in gold.
Yeah, Scrooge, Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, because I know his Dutch name, but that's not really gonna...
Oh, nice rocks on the ground. You can still go for this, though, and the knockback, Sponge! Oh, he barely flashes out before that second one charges up. Cal, awkward spot for him, but Pyosik not gonna do anything crazy. So I'm very curious. Unfortunately, we had some action.
Yeah.
What is the name of Scrooge McDuck in Dutch?
Dagobert Duck.
Ah, yes. Of course. How could I should have known.
I don't think anyone would have gotten that reference, so I just didn't.
So, Dagobert?
No, it's like Dagobert. Dagobert.
Dinkelberg?
Dagobert.
Like from Fairly Odd Parents?
Well, this is why I didn't want to get into this whole conversation, because I figured no one would understand. But that's the amount of gold we used to have in all team fights, because everyone would, go in and then bait cooldowns and then stopwatch.
We definitely have like some Dutch fans out there that are watching right now.
I'm sure
They know what you're talking about.
I was one of those.
Bulldog doesn't have flash, and Andil missed
his. That would have.
He could have also just flash queued.
Man, Bulldog is taking a lot of heat, and he's just fine.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the earlier play on Sponge was actually the best part, because if he preemptively tries to knock him into the rock, Sponge can flash over the W and then just kill him.
Yeah.
So, and there's a little bit of time as the dash is in the air where you can W, so actually really well done there. We were, distracted talking about more important things, but I think it's good to go back and highlight that nonetheless.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Not as psyched for Andil's Leona play.
No, that was not.
I think Ox is pretty psyched, and hoping maybe Pleta gets called up. But
that is his current quest.
Yeah. At this point, I don't know. I always had faith in Andil. I just feel like he was kind of hard done by a number of different things.
Oh, agreed. Yeah.
So I'm actually cheering for the guy this season. But yeah, that wasn't it. Like that just wasn't
Maybe
it. So it happens.
Bulldog gank will be the one that gets him.
Does that count as number 3?
That's number 3, yeah.
That was a gank?
Well, he's in the lane. His camp's already up, so like he's not really sacrificing anything. But I would say that counts. Yeah.
True. Yeah. All right. Well, we're doing the grubs here. Pyosik is going bot. So, the ult's going to come through from Dudu. He's looking to actually just take the 1v1 pretty early. And here comes Pyosik. Rich has his flash, but you're just getting solo killed, buddy. Dudu is back on top. And he will take down the Jace by himself.
Doesn't even need his Vi. Pyosik actually changing his pathing there. I think because he was afraid that Dudu might not win, and Dudu's like, what are you? What do you mean? What do you mean not win?
What are you, crazy?
Just ice cold 1v1. And that actually ends up being, funnily enough, the fact that Pyosik uses that time means that they don't get Dragon. Because Vi has really good early damage towards Dragon because of the percentage health damage on the W, so she can actually chew through dragons pretty quickly. So it's going to be a little bit of Sandal for DRX and then a full one for DNF as they get themselves the first blood. And it's just a solo bolo from Dudu, which I still don't think that anywhere throughout last year we saw peak Dudu. It's like 2023, 2022. That guy was insane.
I'm fighting. Does he say anything else? He has flash. I got him. No flash. Pings it.
Yeah, just
like having a third reminder.
From the moment that he hits the ult, I think the Rich is always going to really struggle there. Because once the Ambessa is truly on top of you, getting rid of her when she's so sticky is really, really tough.
Yeah, I feel like Rich has to be careful about taking trades where he uses a lot of cooldowns and like knocks the Ambessa away.
Yeah.
And against most champs, you're like, okay, I did my combo, I knocked them away, they don't do anything now. Ambessa's like, well, see, I've got this ult thing that can target you from miles away, and now you don't have your hammer knockback. So
it's so crazy that And Bessa goes for, I think it's just because Grasp and Resolve right now is an insanely strong tree. But it's so interesting because it feels like she's such a peak Conqueror champ. And instead, it's just Grasp and she gets a ton of free health, which ends up making her feel even more oppressive in the team fights. She just sustains so much throughout all of them. DN Freaks, early lead, but for DRX, not going to be the end of the world. The Sponge now does have his ultimate enabled. So he's going to most likely be looking to try and make a play. Can he make a play towards bot? We see Yukal shadowing as well, but I think instead just take the dragon. You know, if Prowl in the bot lane, mid, Yukal should be able to shove as well. Bulldog has been playing very carefully, as we have seen with all those ganks. What about the Vi gank, though? There is, of course, the combo. But Yukal, I think, is positioning really safely, and Aurora is so slippery. You know, between the stealth and the multiple dashes back and the ultimate and the fact that Yukal still has flash, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. I feel like Pyosik has done okay, we're just flashing on in, and yeah, I mean, they're going to catch him in the ult. They get the flash.
That's a good trade. I think you take that.
Because now he can just ult him.
Yeah.
If Bulldog is anywhere past halfway.
Or if you hit an E on Leona, can kill him now.
Thinking about something.
It's so hard, man, with Aurora, especially with Yukal's positioning.
But she used her ult. That's one of her 8 tools.
Yeah. There are a couple of champions like that. The Kali's another one where you're like, I know it looks like they might, in this case it wasn't, but like it looks like they might be overextended, but I just know if you don't have guaranteed CC, they're just gonna flip-flop their way out of there.
That's part of the reason why we've had some champions really stick around in the mid lane for a very long time in our metas. Think about Corki, Azir, right?
Azir is another
such a reliable
example.
Way to get away, and multiple ways to get away. It's like, well, you just never get punished, and you farm really well.
Because it's such a short lane.
Yeah.
So even with something that has lockdown as amazing as the Vi, it's not really going to happen. I want to see a full-out brawl here, though, Veldas. Although I imagine DRX want to try and avoid that. The biggest strength of Pantheon's ult, similar to something that Nocturne has, although Pantheon doesn't turn the map off, is allowing you to turn any situation into one where you have numbers advantage. Not going to be the case here, though, as we are just looking to contest. But I agree. I don't think that once the Freaks are set up, not getting access to that area.
Yep, setting up a wall. They're going to trade 3 and 3, unless Ondil's going to throw a solar flare over the top. It did go down to 33 health there. Like there was a chance.
Here she gets smite though, so if he loses that, then he
he's fired.
Right? Well, he's Pyosik, so it doesn't really mean anything because that's just who he is. But
yeah, that's true. Pyosik is pretty good at smiting.
Has had some high-profile moments.
Yeah.
Has also had a high-profile moment where it got stolen by a Varus arrow, but you know that happens to the best of us. Yeah. What was really shameful, actually, I was playing with Orcs, and it was my first game of the day, and I was just not really woken up. And then we got our Rift Herald stolen.
Yeah.
By the splash damage on an Ashe ult.
Oh my God.
that was a filter. We did not win that game.
And you immediately lost as you ult F4 out of the game.
Well, I would never, you know me, but that was painful. Yeah, because I tried to time it because I'm playing on Pantheon because Lucid played it, so then I have to.
And you are.
And then I tried to time it, but the delay on Pantheon Q was just mistimed it a little bit. Yeah. Ox was very good.
You didn't have smite?
Well, no, I did, but I tried to like time it perfectly so that you Q and then the. But it didn't. Yeah, it didn't.
Went down to like 11 health and then Ashe arrow stolen.
Yup.
Oh! Got him!
But any jungler has had. Oh, Sponge.
Speaking of getting them, he stuck around for way too long trying to clear that, and down he will go. So that is a big mistake. We'll see if DRX can do much about it. There's no real escape for Light, so he's just going to go in, tries to flash away. Dudu misses, but he's here, and at least is able to help out and picking up that second kill. So 2-for-1 in favor of DN Freaks. A little bit, I'd say disrespectful of Sponge to try to go for that ward there in front of everybody.
I appreciate DRX, their immediate response, which is go in with absolutely everyone, and you feel safe as Pantheon because you have your E, and you see he actually does tank a lot of the damage, but it's Berserker that's the big difference maker. Then the TPs come in here, but I want you to look at Lazy Field, because even with Dudu whiffing the ultimate, Lazy Field at no point in this fight, I think, really is in a position where he can maybe could have done it there, but Dudu is still right next to him. So he doesn't really get to do anything. And then Rich did invest a lot, so wasn't really able to make an impact in that fight. And probably should have just let Sponge die. That was fine. Just Pantheon gets taken down, gets too greedy for a ward, as you point out. And that's just the end of it.
Yeah. As you mentioned, very safe, because he also had Ondil right there, like literally right next to him in the brush. So it's like you can't really blame him.
It's
looking
the
back
Berserker,
in the
yeah,
replay.
it's I think mostly the Berserker damage that caught him off guard. That's only going to get worse though as we get level 11. And we mentioned the Pantheon global pressure. DN Freaks actually have two great responses, both to Leah ult and especially again when we get to level 2 and further on for Kai'Sa, allow you to really easily get set up, and everyone on his team can proc Plasma for Berserker, which is kind of crazy. Doesn't happen often.
Remember when turret plates were the big thing and we'd have like these big numbers, teams really playing to get a lot of plates and lane swaps and stuff? We had 2 plates fall, only one of them was collected in this game. 125 gold to the Aurora Yucal, who is in a little bit of danger. He's walking up to 2 people. Pyosik says hello, and Yucal hops. Oh, that was almost a nice knockup, but Yucal swift on his feet, going to dodge that one. And I think if anything happened under that turret, you would have Sponge look to maybe ult towards the top of the side. As now going to drop an ult here on a Bulldog, who will just try to flash away. Does get a nice combo down himself. Bit of extra damage into Yucal. And now Sponge is going to get caught out here by Pyosik. And Berserker did join in on that one, but Sponge is able to flash away.
Berserker is one of the most aptly named pros that I think Viper is up there as well. Ruler is a good one, because that man will go in on every single ult. He will not hesitate. In that case, it did kind of feel like Sponge was right for the taking. Fortunately for DN Freaks, he was right on the edge. Bulldog also, yes, his flash goes down, but he survived yet another gank attempt. Man has just been eating continuous attempts on his life and able to get out. He is not going to be doing a lot of damage, though. This is...
Oh, the replay, you can see.
Oh, that makes sense. So he's trying to look for the ult play towards, I imagine, topside, and then just got caught off guard.
I like the little picture-in-picture replays.
It's really nice.
To get, like, the little moments, right?
Yeah.
It's much better than, when we used to sometimes go to replays and stuff would happen. We have, like, kind of replay simulator.
Replays and replays. Yeah.
This is better. I like it.
Particularly with how much more action I think we've had. I know that when it comes to kills, not necessarily, but I do really want to give credit again. I think, especially now that the boots aren't as broken, like the feed system, it does its job. People have been contesting so much more. There's some tweaks to be made. Otacon is probably at the forefront of everyone's list.
Yeah.
Not even I think just having one type in pro play is inevitable, but we saw with Chemtech what
I think there can be a sweet spot, but the issue is
hard.
if you lower it, then it just becomes ruinous in solo queue.
Well, that's what it
which it already is.
It already is. I've legitimately maybe seen like 2 out of I don't know how many games. Like
Voracious.
Yes. And solo queue just doesn't.
High level games.
I mean, high level games is a bit better, but I'm pretty sure it's still.
Is that ward not in the bush?
Is it not?
They didn't see the bush because the pink ward, the control ward, is out of the bush. Rich is in a lot of trouble. That's an Ambessa ult over the top. Pyosik is taking a million bajillion damage, approximately. Rich gonna get the knockback as well. Berserker! Just not fair and not very nice to bully Rich this way. But, it gets the job done, and they take down the turret.
Oh, I thought he was going to live, man. I was invested. Actually, him staying alive for as long as he did is what ends up giving the feats over to DRX, because they got topside turret as a result. As Rich, he tries his hardest. You see as well, Berserker, like how early he was clued in on this play. As initially they tried to just kill him with the 2 of us. There's that plasma stack. Dudu goes in. And then Berserk's like, okay, fine, I'll finish the job myself. Ends up getting the kill as well. But if they kill him immediately, if he just goes down, they can focus their damage towards the turret and maybe get it. Not going to be the case. It's going to be DRX picking up their sandals. And the game is still quite even, because even though I think DN Freaks have looked way better individually and like the plays that they're making around the map, when it comes to the gold, they're not far off. And if DRX get a third internal Drake and start setting up for this soul point, I think DN Freaks are going to have to be careful.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an angle here for DRX to make stuff happen in this game. I feel like we haven't really seen even the power of the MF yet. You know, we saw that pick and we're like, not 100% sure about it, but, you know, there were a ton of 80 carry bans. I mean, we had Caitlyn, Ashe, Xayah, Ezreal. Those were just the second phase of bans. Varus, Kalista, all taken off the board. And so they went for the MF. And, yeah, LazyFeel hasn't been able to throw in an ult just yet. We haven't had a lot of big team fights yet either. So maybe we get one now, as we will be fighting over this Infernal Drake.
Could be fun. Life, Andil all have their sums available. So them and Kyoshik and Sponge are going to be looking to start off these fights. High priority targets here. Obviously the 80 carries. We'll see if LazyFeel can get a big ult off together with Yukao. Yukao has been, I think, the best performing member on this team. If he can trap multiple people and LazyFeel can layer an ult on top, that could be big, but DN Freaks can easily split up these fights with the ult. Engage!
Is gonna find LazyFeel right out in the open. He's just free. He's gonna go down. No ult will actually be able to affect anything, and that is just going to mean the dominoes fall. And they might even just split here. Send 3 people up to the Otacon and take the Infernal as well.
This is exactly the inexperience that we were talking about, unfortunately, for LazyFeel. Particularly, like, if Pioshik flashes, but he doesn't even need to flash. So you either have to flash over the wall. I think he was afraid, because he definitely saw the Vi coming, that he wouldn't make it over the wall, would just lose his flash and that'll be the end of it. But that was a really big deal, because as we said, that is the ult that kind of makes the whole comp work. Otherwise you just have a lot of single target damage, which doesn't do enough. And now that is soul point denied for DRX. Otacon is given away, and it's going to be a really hard comeback from here on out. As we take another look, Kyoshik, we see him right there. And you know what, with that wall, I guess he did have the space, but it might also feel like if you flash over, you'll still be trapped. But you have to, because just that vial is fine, even if he just flashes back, as long as it doesn't chain. But like the fact, as soon as you get trapped in the Talia combo as well, there's just no way. The fact that Dudu hits him with the ult is
everything.
Just... Yeah.
Life also Magnet Stormed him.
Yeah,
and 2 of his teammates.
Yep.
It does feel like bullying a little bit.
That's what DN Freaks were going to have to do, though, and perfect execution on that fight.
Now,
they didn't look...
Well, no Akali in this game.
Yeah, you know. We're going to say that. There's not even any sums used. It was just clean.
Yeah. And, you know, it's kind of one of these weird situations. I feel like we do sometimes get games like this in current patch where a team wins one team fight, gets the Otacon, and it's just kind of over. You know what I mean? Like, it's not technically over. But DNF are quite a strong team. And as long,
the collapse.
You know,
they have the buff.
They're just going to dive on deep. They got the buff. They're looking for something. That's a good ult from LazyFeel. Mostly it's the Ambessa, who is going to go into the revive. And they don't actually get anyone on the side of DRX. Nice little combo. And also, Pioshik is going in, and Berserker has 5 kills already. He wants even more. Going to take a big turret shot, though. So, going to back off for now. But they get a kill, and they get the jungler.
Pioshik is not meant to have this power. Atlas, there needs to be something. Again?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, I mean, I am Atlas, so it makes sense. Oh, no, they're just getting more. And they're going to revive. It's fine. They got a couple more. I'm not sure why DRX sticking around.
I'm just thrown off on so many levels now. The fact that Pioshik gets to have this much power and get away with it, that's not okay. The fact that we are looking at DRX that are getting dove cheap. Hey, after they lose, remember, right? Like, Ambessa goes down, does nothing, And it just doesn't matter. Now, Sponge walking up was optimistic. I'm pretty sure he knew, but thought he could tank. But then gets knocked back into Berserker. Even just getting that one turret would have already been pretty good. But then the fact that they both die as well, that's exactly like those types of plays. They should not have this power.
He said, have fun.
It's too much, Valdez.
Yeah, I mean,
Too much.
Pyosik is one of the guys that I think loves that buff the most, for sure.
No, he should. It's not okay. Because that's what he always is looking to do.
Yeah, even without the buff.
Oh my god, Berserker 7-0.
Yeah, 3 items. And unfortunately, when you're down on a lot of levels too, like the MF, it has its power, but everybody's quite mobile on the side of DNF as well. Like nobody's really sitting in an MF ultimate unless you really lock them down for quite a long time like they did to Ambessa in that last fight. But that is really the only power we've seen so far.
Yeah, I also don't expect Dudu to position in a way where that's going to be easily done like he did there. It's like, whatever.
I'll just go die. It's
fine.
Like,
it's okay. I'll get the cooldown, guys. Don't worry about it.
It's like Atlas with Hex Flash. It's like you got to put that on cooldown. You know, you got to get rid of the buff.
Oh, you mean Feldas?
Oh, yes, sorry, Valdez. Yeah, he's very well known for talking about Hex Flash.
Yeah, we got
having a fantastic
Atlas,
Australian accent.
Atlas and Hex Flash, me and Challengers, you and Stopwatch, or now it's Plants, I guess.
Yeah, the Blast Cones haven't really been that bad.
How do you like the roses? Actually, now that we've had like a week of them.
Yeah, the roses are fine. I mean,
they're fine, right?
It doesn't really feel like it affects
They're just there.
much. Yeah, they're just there.
I do think they're one of the reasons why the game feels so snowbally at the moment, but it's more behind the scenes than it is in your face.
We were doing like counters and stuff. I haven't seen one of those counters in a while just because I don't think people really care, to be honest. That is a big wall, and everybody's trying to flash away. The wall does go down. And they're just not going to go for the fight just yet.
DN Freaks look so disciplined as well. I'm just a bit surprised, Feldas. Berserker 7-0, and these keep hidden. Sponge, you have an E. He must have used it.
Well, he used it a couple of times and he died anyway, so he's like, I guess it's not very tanky, actually. And now he's just kind of walking through. I don't know what's going on with him, man. He's taking so much free damage, and Rage
just dying!
And Ogdil are just dying. Sponge has to flash the Ambessa ult. Guys, I said it before. It was just one of those games. DNF, they won the one fight. They're just a better team. They got the Otacon, and this one is just kind of donezo.
This reminds me of peak Herald meta, when it's like every game, 40-minute Herald fight. That's it. If we win the fight, we win the game.
Don't die to it.
He won't.
Don't die to this.
No, he's Pantheon, he won't. It's fine. It's fine. It's not a repeat.
I'm getting flashbacks, yeah.
Well, I miss old reliable, man.
I mean, what do you say about this?
That's it. I want nothing, fellas. This game is already done.
Break it down, Chronicler. Take it away. Analyze.
Sponge is like, has 20% health. Berserker just hit like 5 Qs in a row. 5 Ws, sorry. I also hit his Qs, but that was because, you know, he can't miss them. Oh, I'm just getting all sorts of thrown off. This game is done. I keep calling you Atlas for some reason.
Well, I am Atlas.
Even though you're the sleepy one because you have a kid.
I do, yes. I think I slept around 4 hours last night in bits and pieces.
And you still look this good?
Well, that's all due to our fantastic makeup team.
Don't give yourself some credit, Valdez.
They're just amazing. They are actually.
They are actually amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
Bounties are up.
The amount of people they do in the short amount of time they do it, as well as they do, it's kind of insane.
It's insane. Yeah, particularly our head makeup person. The speed with which she does, it's wild.
It's like, it's not in any percent either. It's like 100%, you know.
No, it's,
glitchless. We're like, you know, full clearing.
No major skips, nothing.
Every achievement.
You can't even cutscene skip. All right, I don't know how she does it. It's wild.
It's quite nice.
This game is, we're just using it as to think about the next thing.
It's just background noise at this point. I mean, you know.
It kind of is, isn't it?
You get to hear some of the projectiles being shot out and stuff.
Who's your standout for this game? We didn't get a vote, but like we're doing POM scouting in this one. Who's your front runner?
Sponge.
Okay, can't do that.
What do you mean? They might win.
No.
Maybe I'm seeing the future. You don't know.
Okay, well, if we come back and
okay, well, if I had to
games,
vote for someone for DNF,
yes, because I actually think there's a couple of interesting angles you can take.
I think it's probably just Pyoshik. Although Berserker's gonna win.
Berserker's definitely
probably
getting
Pyoshik.
it.
Berserker will win, and I think that's also fair. Like, big bomb of damage.
A Jonah strong vote for Bulldog.
Yeah, surviving.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he ate like what, 7 ganks. Still hasn't died this game. Has a cool scoreline as well.
He does. Very secret agent. I think his walls have been good as well.
Have been.
The one with the Voracious Otacon buff too was quite nice. Andil. He's Leona with Cosmic.
Cosmic?
Cosmic? What is the name of that thing? What I said
Celestial.
I said it right in the last series.
It's Celestial. No, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Cosmic, Celestial. I get it.
Yeah, it's close enough. They both start with C. Just like
they're talking about
Chronicler. Yeah.
Yes, very true. Pyoshik is. He doesn't know.
They see him.
He has GA though.
He's just dead, I guess.
No, he has GA.
Bulldog. Where are you going, man? He's just going all in. And he's got Berserker and the rest of the team with him. The mobility is kind of insane, but I don't know. This is a very broken up fight. Looks like it might not matter as the wallets are very heavy. Berserker takes a bunch of damage, but guess who's the real carry now? It is, of course, Ambessa, to the surprise of nobody. As eventually you just fire off enough Ws and you get the kills. 10 now for Berserker. And that should do it. If they could end on this push, that would be lovely.
Most likely going to be the case. Yeah, I'm ready for game 2, fellas. I imagine the audience feels the same way with the way that we've been yapping. Oh, they're going to push all the inhibs. You gotta really. I know those death timers might look long, but really, when you think about it, they're not. We can't even get mid lane inhib. Okay, we gotta.
Why are they so disciplined?
They're 16-2. I just watched Pyoshik. I know that there was a full squad, at least a couple of people waiting for him there. Just ends up going down. Lazy Field still does not get to play the video game. Although I gotta say, you gotta be ready for those Talia W's. Gotta be able to flash those because that's what sets up the whole combo, allows Berserker to take him down.
Yeah.
But let's be real. Even if they kill Pyoshik there, as soon as everyone else gets to join the fight, the wallets are just too heavy. Fellas, as you point out, Berserker is just further padding his stat line. I feel bad about it, okay?
That was very nicely lined up, actually, right down the middle. Lazy Feel. Yeah, he's got some feels after this one, that's for sure. And yeah, they're just going to continue bullying. Everybody going to get smacked by a giant safe of money. And now I think they can take down the mid inhibitor. And hopefully the game.
Yeah, call them Dagobert Duck, Valdez. The way that they're just taking everyone down. Hellfire's full.
That was very nice. Max range W got him right on the edge. And Andil cannot escape the suffering either. As the DM Freaks come out, guns blazing, 21-2 in kill score there. And Berserker, yeah, he's going to get the highlight. Tons of kills in this one. But really a nice team effort to get the job done today.
Yeah, everyone had their moments. I think Life was like relatively the least visible, but he did a good job following up.